Good morning, everyone. Let's get this bread. Yo, happy July. 1st of July, new month, new start. Let's, yo, let's get this bread. Here, real quick. Let's see. Need to eject. Natasha, what's up? Good morning. Happy July. Yo, speaking of July, I need to see what, I know for sure we have Friday off. I need to make sure we don't have Thursday off too. Dan, good morning. Appreciate you. And good morning. Maria, good morning. PG Taylor, good morning. We got JP going to speak in 10 minutes. I'll probably I'll try to find it and see where he is off to the side. D Scurv, good morning. You said Apple good catalyst, yeah. So one thing about this setup with Apple here, I really like this setup with Apple. It may not do it today, but one thing that I've noticed, like every time I see like a candle like this where it just kind of like gaps up and just like sells off like this, like real fast. This happened like immediately on the, honestly, probably even on the 1 minute if we go down to it. Let's see. Yeah, even on the 1 minute. Anytime I see something like this, usually we come back and we get back to that level within a couple weeks. So I like the idea of getting calls on Apple, especially at a dip. So here, let me extend this out some more. Let's see. Can we straighten that up? I think that's about as straight as it's getting. But yeah, I like the idea of getting calls on Apple. And I was looking at it, I think on the 15 minute. Yeah, where I have that at, there is some liquidity here. Should it pull back there? Otherwise, it could just continue to run. I'm not going to do anything in that case, but Emmett, good morning. Oh, my screen is only showing. Why does it do that? Here, let's see. Okay, I didn't even realize. Appreciate you sharing that. Let's see. How do I fix this? I think it's screen capture. Wait, that's video. Here, let's go to that. And then let's go back. And then we gotta resize it, I guess. Oh, nope, there we go. All right. Okay, here we are. There we go. Appreciate y'all. Alan, good morning. Calls on Apple, that's how I made money yesterday. Hey. Yeah, I like Apple right now. Apple is looking good in them sense. Very good. Let's see. Nunette, good morning. Do you have a video explaining what trading platform you use? So I use a lot of trading platforms, but yes, if you check the pinned comment or the very first chat of this video, that playlist kind of has all that information. That first video will show you how to use TradingView, which is this is the charting platform, but there are also videos about like Robinhood and stuff like that too. You said that way. Oh yeah. Appreciate it, these guys. 10th like. Oh yeah. Shout out to the 12 people who smashed like. Big time appreciate y'all. Y'all, I'm probably gonna have to cut out of Palantir. It's taking a little too long for my for what I am doing. So yeah, I'm gonna probably have to cut out. I'm gonna end up getting too low. Unfortunately, not in the best of positions this week, but still not out. Tesla down big. I will definitely get a sign. Mm. You sold some puts on Tesla? Thanks, appreciate it. Lex, good morning. Cheaty, good morning. I'm getting it, made a few bucks on Hims as well. Gonna attempt to do it again. Yeah, Apple might be a good one. I want them on a pullback. Like Apple can like just continue on and go up, but I want to see if I can catch a pullback. This red line right here would be my ideal entry. Honestly, where I am, I probably need to wait a couple hours before I enter anything. I can like cut out of things and take profit on things, but I probably need to wait a little bit. Also, let me look at SoFi real quick. All right, so SoFi has come down from yesterday when I entered that put. If only I had got one a little closer to the money. Oh well. Do you think today will be a bearish day? So I personally lean a little bit more bearish on the day, but I'm still kind of bullish a little bit. So I'm kind of rolling with the punches. Like I think there are still stocks that will go up regardless or not, whether it's a bearish day or not. So because of that, because I am bearish on or feeling bearish right now, I am a little bit more willing if SPY like confirms below support to maybe go for that and like try to ride it. But other than that, we'll just kind of go with the flow. Because bearish can turn bullish real fast. Let's see. Gabriel, good morning. Frank, top of the morning. Thoughts on Tesla? Honestly, I'm gonna just let Tesla do its thing right now. Tesla is like, I know it's like pulled back and stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna just let Tesla do its thing. It's like broke a level. There appears to be there's a low liquidity at. Actually, I wouldn't even really target that. I would say if I were looking at Tesla, the next like really, really nice looking level to enter would be this 273 right here. See some liquidity right there, so that would be a solid like buy area for me on Tesla. But for now, it's like Tesla can keep doing its thing. It broke the trend line over here. I'm just gonna let it kind of keep doing its thing. It's oversold, but once again, I think it can like kind of get double oversold. We'll see what happens. I hear BBAI may be a good stock to watch. So yeah, BBAI has been kind of going crazy. I think we looked at it yesterday, and it was like approaching a trend line to a point where it looked like it could get slapped down. Let's see how it looks. And yeah, it's right there, like at that trend line. So like, it's in slap down territory. Not to mention, you actually have like 1, 2, 3, like kind of like 3 tops up here. So this honestly seems like a really good area for a short on it. I don't know what pace it falls at. Let's see. Last time it made this high. Let's see. So last time you can see it had 1 top, 2 top, another top on the RSI. Had like some divergence going for it. And it's not one that it doesn't fall off like too quickly. This sold off from February 13th down to like March. So it like sold off over the span of a month. So it's a little bit of a slower seller, but if you get a little time, this actually looks like a good area to get a short on it. Christine, hola. Can you show me how you draw your daily ranges every morning? So I legit just on the 4 hour chart take the first two candles and then just take the top and the bottom. But also that playlist will show you too. Here, let me real quick try to pull up Jerome Powell. And I also, where's my phone? Oh, also want to get out of this Palantir. So yeah, let me see if I can pull up Jerome Powell real quick. Let's see. Oh, that's someone else talking with Jerome. Is this it? Hey, so we're about to get demonetized, but let's see. Can y'all hear that? Do y'all hear like the piano kind of music? He's in Portugal. Okay, we're getting a little quick pop on Palantir. Jay, happy July. Okay. All right, so I guess I'll kind of mute it for now. But once he goes live, I'll like have his audio playing. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you said I agree. It's best to wait for puts. It's been trending up. Yeah, so and then also like a lot of the times when you do have the move for puts, it's usually not the first move. Usually you will pull back, then you will kind of run to like midday. And then like after that midday, it's like if you die after that, it's like, okay, now is the time for puts. That's like taking puts right at open. There are some days when it's like, oh yeah, it goes crazy and the move is right at open, but the majority of the time, it's like the move is like, find that entry midday. Corey, good morning. Tesla, some support at 8. Yeah, there's support at 286 on Tesla. Yeah, there was some buyers there too. Oh, I still need to get out of this Palantir. What am I doing? Oh, that's not pretty. Where is my position? I'm gonna still do the whole confirmation weight thing just with where it is. Let's see. Let me check and see if Pal's live yet. No, they still got the piano going. Okay. If Tesla continues to fall, look for Uber to hit 100. Yeah, that's something we're looking for. Oh, I see some swing calls going in on Tesla. Travis, good morning. Young bread getter. He says so some soothing. If Palantir hits 137, think I might get out. I feel that. Nicole, good morning. Anella, good morning. George, good morning. Yo, I can feel the need to like let my body kind of just recover and catch back up here. Let's flip Tesla right here. See Tesla. Oh, you said that. Oh, wait. Oh, I feel you. Okay. Buddha Deb, good morning. Big Reg, top of the morning. Yeah, Palantir's killing me. Yeah, we're just gonna, honestly, we're just gonna have to stop on out. Just for the sake of being able to do what we need to. Oh, okay. I was like, why isn't it selling? But I was pressing the wrong button. Let's see. All right, so out of Palantir at 90 cents per share. Let me see. Whoa. Out of Palantir at 90 cents per share. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? You said is Palantir good for a call? Possibly on a higher time frame. It looks like on the day it might be good for a call, but on a higher time frame, it's in the downtrend. So hold on, still gotta send out this message. Okay. What Powell talking about? Oh, hold up.
Generally, but that also are causing
They are now talking.
Two-side risk to inflation. So we have to continue to be extremely vigilant. We have to continue to be committed to delivering on our target. And I think we are at this point in time in a very good position.
They're talking
to do
about
that.
interest
so
rates.
We are well equipped to navigate the tormented waters that we should anticipate.
Chair Powell, tariffs are not yet showing up in inflation.
MSTR
is this forcing you or your staff to actually rethink what the models say about how much the tariffs will ultimately through some of the final prices?
So thank you, Francine, and Christine, thank you to you and your colleagues for putting on another great conference here today.
Call for? How long are you trying to be in it for?
I guess I would start, if I may, by saying that the U.S. economy is in a pretty good position. Inflation has come down close to 2%. We're at 2.3 headline, 2.7 core. The unemployment rate is at 4.2%, so we're healthy overall.
This isn't anything I would mess with.
If you ignore the tariffs for a second, inflation is behaving pretty much exactly as we have expected and hoped that it would. We haven't seen effects much yet from tariffs, and we didn't expect to by now. We've always said that the timing, amount, and persistence of the inflation would be highly uncertain, and it's certainly improved that. So we're watching. We expect to see over the summer some readings, higher readings, but we're prepared to learn that it can be higher or lower or later or sooner than we'd expected.
But, Chair, would the Fed have cut more by now if it weren't for the tariffs?
So I think that's right. In effect, we went on hold when we saw the size of the tariffs and essentially all inflation forecasts for the United States went up materially as a consequence of the tariffs. So we didn't overreact. In fact, we didn't react at all. We're simply taking some time. As long as the U.S. economy is in solid shape, we think the prudent thing to do is to wait and learn more and see what those effects might be. And again, they haven't really shown up. And so for now we're waiting.
Governor Rhee, I mean, South Korea's economy is, of course, highly reliant
Here, I'm gonna
on
pause
trade,
this for a
putting
second, or
aside
mute
the
it for a
deals that
second.
each
So I just want to take this time to say, I am personally watching Apple. Like, I like the idea of calls on Apple. I'm hoping that we can get a pullback beforehand, but I like the idea of calls on Apple, so that's something I'm looking at right now. All right, I'm gonna turn them back on now.
22% of our import from China, and recently export price of China has been falling at 5% a year for several years, and we believe that will continue to so. And at this moment, our growth rate is 0.8%, which is well below our potential growth rate. So aggregate demand pressure is much lower. So our problem is not the inflation itself, but the gross impact of tariff.
So what does that mean you'll do going forward?
Yeah, actually, we have been in an easing cycle, and we cut our interest rate 100 BP from last October, and we will continue to be in an easing cycle given our growth rate. But recently, financial stability risk has been rising, especially housing price in metropolitan area is increasing very fast. So we are keeping an eye on this financial stability risk in deciding the pace and the timing of the further cuts.
Governor Bailey, you've taken the view that the latest rises in inflation in the UK will be transitory. Why are you so confident that inflation will fall back?
Actually, you might have detected I've tried to avoid using the transitory word because oddly enough, it has a bit of a history.
So it'll need to pull back to about
obviously any increase in inflation is an increase in inflation. So
for me to get in, but the reasons it's gone up is make an announcement if
so-called administered prices. Now, that's, as I say, that's an increase in prices, don't get me wrong. But it's not telling us much or anything about the context of the economy. In other words, it's not telling us anything really much about the balance of supply and demand in the economy. So I think the key judgment for us is, are we going to get second round effects from this this pickup? And of course, it's nothing like the pickup of a few years ago, just to be clear. And my judgment is at the moment is that the context is different, that we do see evidence. I see some signs of softening in the economy, I see signs of softening in the labour market. We are going to have to see those come through, though. I mean, come through into prices. I think we've still got to see the evidence and prices. But that background context allows certainly me to say, look, I think the direction of interest rates continues to be downwards.
When you look at all of the uncertainty, again, it's a bold call given what happened to oil prices and trade negotiations?
It is. I mean, I would say two things on that. One, I think, as others have said, it's probably, Jay was saying, I think it's a bit too soon, I think, really to see the price effects coming through from the trade and tariffs action. We've made a point of saying also that, I think as Christine was saying, that these are two-sided. They could go either way. Could be weaker demand. We could see some supply chain disruption. The second thing, of course, is that some of these effects, if you take the oil price story, I mean, it's gone up, it's come down all since our last meeting, effectively. So, we always reach for the lexicon at this point. I mean, we've added unpredictability to uncertainty. I was slightly amused at the introductory film this morning with Christine saying all these words, because it's true. Because not only are we getting uncertainty in the sense, the range of outcomes, but unpredictable in the sense that if you get things like, the tariff action, history really isn't a particularly good guide to that, actually. You can't really draw much from it.
It can rally back up at some point.
Now, Governor Ueda, you're in a slightly different situation, right? Japan's CPI has stayed above 2% for 3 years now. What do you see as the fundamental changes in your economy that make inflation more persistent?
So let me say, to put it simply, as you say, headline inflation has been above 2% for almost 3 years, while what we call underlying inflation is still somewhat below 2%. That's the situation we are in. But if I could decompose it further, there's probably about 3 components to it. First, there's underlying inflation dictated by wage price dynamics, whereby increases in prices affect wages, which further affect prices, helped by resilient domestic demand. This component has been going up slowly, but as I said, it's still somewhat below 2%. Then there's going to be perhaps a second component, which will be the expected negative effects of.
All right, we're about to get
possible
that first
price,
candle close on everything.
The economy and on prices. We are expecting this to take place, but we haven't seen that yet. There's a third component, which is domestic supply shock generated by increases in food prices. Actually, this component accounts for about 50% of the headline inflation we've got at the moment. So netting these three, we think the first component and the second component will produce a slow increase in underlying inflation toward 2% by end 26 or 27. The third component, food inflation, is going to subside toward the year end. So that we will be closely monitoring interplays between these three forces.
But, Governor, how do you view trade concerns the day after President Trump threatened Japan with more tariffs?
Well, it's being negotiated by
out.
our minister in charge. So,
Apple's pushing
I'm
up
trying
too.
to avoid making any specific comments on this.
So let me just ask you, what will be the key trigger for Japan for deciding further rate hikes?
Okay, as I said, it will depend on the relative strength of the three inflation dynamics I was describing, and we need some more information to determine that.
President Lagarde, when you look at rate cuts, I mean, are we gonna? Where do you see actually the ECB going? You're in a pretty comfortable position right now, out of all the central banks.
Data will tell. So I think we are determined to continue to be data dependent, to decide meeting by meeting, and to not commit to any particular rate path. That's the doxa. And we're very lucky because we have just completed our strategy assessment, which really gives us a good framework and good.
This is like the
good strategy lines within which to
when it's talking about Fed Chair Powell speaking
those three
today.
Aspects that I have mentioned: data dependent, meeting
They're talking
by
about
meeting,
interest rates.
no commitment to any particular rate path, are constant in that ongoing strategy based on what we have concluded actually yesterday.
On the cool, Apple's trend is pretty strong.
From our standpoint,
I may adjust to try
a
and
solid
enter
majority of FOMC participants
on like the
do
trend line or
expect that
something.
it will
We'll see.
become appropriate later this year to begin to reduce rates again. And so, that will depend, though, as Christine just mentioned, on the incoming data. We'll be monitoring particularly what does show up in terms of inflation or what does not show up, and also carefully watching the labor market. You know, we watch very carefully for signs of unexpected weakness. We see a gradual cooling, but we don't really see that yet. So those are the things we'll be watching. But as I mentioned, a majority of us do feel that will be appropriate in the remaining 4 meetings of the year to begin to reduce rates again.
All right, so
Madam
he's
Lagarde,
talking about
the
what
euro
we
has
need
also surged about 12% against the dollar so far this
start
year. Are
seeing
you
in
concerned
order
that
for
its
them to
strength
start cutting
runs
rates.
counter to your efforts
He
to also
says we
loosen
don't see it
financial
yet, but
conditions?
it's what we kind of
I'm
need
not going to comment
look
on the
out for.
exchange rate. We take it into account for purposes of our projections. Obviously, it has an impact, but it's a reflection of the market conditions and assessment. It's also a reflection of the strength of our economy. But there has been a clear appreciation relative to the dollar, and depending on how you look at it, it's either a depreciation of the dollar or an appreciation of the euros. And there might be a bit of both in that particular case. We're also looking at the movement, the flow of capitals and the attractiveness of euro-denominated assets, which is also an interesting phenomenon that we've observed lately.
Chair Powell, I mean, is it fair to say, I know, nothing is guaranteed, number one, we all know this. Barring a real surprise, is July just too soon to seriously even consider a rate cut?
Yeah, I really can't say. It's going to depend on the data, and we are going meeting by meeting.
The metrics are there for cuts and should
you know,
be
how I'm thinking about
done.
that.
It looks
I
like
wouldn't
T
take
is
any
waiting
meeting
until
off the
September.
table or put it
Bad
directly on
mistake.
the table. It's going to depend on how the
Hey,
data.
we'll see.
Governor, Lee, what's the biggest risk stemming from protectionist trade policy actually for the global economy and for South Korea?
We'll make the best of whatever happens.
The biggest risk stemming from
It might hurt,
trades
but
and protectionist measures.
we know what we're doing.
You know, the Korea
Kinda.
has quite an export-driven economy. So
We don't
whatever
know
the
exactly
global
what's gonna happen,
fragmentation
but
is a serious
we know
impact. Not only direct
we gonna
impacts
be
through the
all
U.S.
right.
tariff, but
Let's
also
see.
indirect impacts through China, Mexico, Canada. And we easily can, it really depends on what's going to happen on July 9th. We are actually waiting for the result, but we don't know what's going to happen. But for example, like if the tariff goes back to 26% retaliatory tariff that was announced in April 2nd, and then also with a lot of sectoral tariff which affect our economy, aluminum, steel, and cars, we can easily say that it has an impact larger than close to 1% in our GDP growth rate.
Master DRC, good
Depending
morning.
on how long it lasts, I think we have to adjust to the new
T,
supply
good morning,
chain.
good morning.
So the impact will be larger. So, but I hope that scenario won't come.
What is the most concern for the Bank of Korea? Is it a stalling South Korea exports, slowdown in global trade, or a downturn in the U.S. economy?
It's all linked, right? It's all linked, right? So it's a global economy slow down. And one thing, I mentioned some negative sides only, but one positive side, I don't know if it's a positive or not, but Korean companies has been preparing for the supply diversification long time ago before the tariff, U.S. tariffs started to, because we have some issues with China.
Oh, hold
and
up.
then also Chinese industry.
I just
has
looked at
become
my portfolio.
very
I'm like,
competitive.
why is it up
So
like
we
that?
had to relocate our
Looks like we got a
production site
little
from
bit of
China to
movement in
elsewhere.
bull today.
So
Let's
relatively
see.
speaking, we are well prepared. And second, still good thing is that we have some
Look at
strong
that
industries
bull.
such as
Oh, man. That's
semiconductor,
up
which benefit from the
3.7.
AI
Okay.
technology
We'll
development.
take
so
it.
I hope that we can
Saw a
manage
little-
it.
little
but on
pop
the
in my
other hand, given
contracts.
just we look at the sheer size of the export dependence, we will be significantly affected.
Now I'm only down
Governor
10%.
Bailey, do you think interest rates will be closer to 3 or 4% at the end of the easing cycle, given all of the inflation and trade dynamics?
Top
That's
of
a
the morning.
subtle way into the
Welcome.
R-style question, actually. I would
All right, spies
detect.
up here at Resistance.
So look, I'm fairly cautious about the whole discussion of the level of R-star and therefore sort of where rates are going to reach in the cycle. There is huge uncertainty around it. What I think is important and what we spend our time looking at is how restrictive is policy both now and going forwards. And our staff do a huge amount of work on that front to judge the restrictiveness
Still
of
want to
policy
see
in the
us
current
looking
context.
oversold.
And how it's how restrictive it's going to be looking forwards if you project forward with the market curves. And the assessment we've got at the moment is that policy
Like I
remains
said, I wanted to
restrictive. It will
short it,
continue
but-
to be restrictive, although the level of restrictiveness will come down.
I feel like I don't see
over
enough
time,
of
which
that.
is what I would expect. So I would expect that level of restrictiveness to come down to a point where it goes more neutral. But I think you have to judge that in context.
I'll tell you, Bull had a push
Just to give you
yesterday.
an example of that.
I feel
in
like
the
somebody
UK
said
economy,
something about it
the
towards
level
the
of
end of the day
household and
yesterday.
corporate debt in the UK economy is actually lower than we would have expected it to be, but based on past experience. So
You think the
again,
trading
that
view?
feeds
I
through
don't
into
see their
just how
sales
restrictive
because
policy is
I
at a given
already
interest rate.
have it,
It's
so I
somewhat less
don't know what the
restrictive
independent
probably
sale
than
is.
it would have been historically.
What's the
Can
percentage?
I ask all of you actually thoughts on the neutral rates? Chair Powell.
Thoughts on the neutral rate? So I think there are countless empirical and theoretical ways to derive it. At the end of the day, I think I like to look at the economy and
Bro,
and
Darren,
ask
hindsight
whether
is
our
always
policy stance is having
20/20. I
the
know how
effects
you
we
feel
expect
with
and
certain
want
things.
on the economy. And to me, I would say we're somewhere probably modestly restrictive at this level. And by some formulations, we're more restrictive than that. But if you look at the economy, growth has been solid. The labor market is solid and still at historically low levels of unemployment. It's not an economy that feels like it's suffering from very tight monetary policy, but I would say that policy is still restrictive.
I think 70% is about what I
President Obama?
have. For
would
the,
say
I got
that,
like
it's
the
a nice
top
concept.
plan
It's
that you can
interesting,
get
and
for.
many of the terribly talented and brilliant economists in this room
What is
actually
it? The top plan
are
that you can
delighted
get with.
discussion about the neutral rate. But honestly, as we're getting, closer
What's the name?
to target and to where we should be,
Top plan you can
or
get
are where
without
we should be. And I don't
being
have a
like a
judgment on that. I
professional
think that
trader.
discussion becomes less relevant. I think what our staff at the ECB measures
Here,
is
let me see. I think I got a
leads us
link
to
where you
believe
can
that
get
it
like
is
an extra
higher than where
$10
it
off.
was before the great financial
Let me see.
crisis, but it's
Wait, where'd it go?
relatively low as well, compared, for instance, with what the US neutral rate is at the moment. But it's,
Maybe not.
in a way, it's a bit of an illusion to discuss that at the moment, because the neutral rate is normally defined in a world where there is no shock, where you have perfect equilibrium.
Sheesh,
Now, are
I
we in
could
a
have bought
world
some
with no
calls at
shocks at the moment?
6:16,
I don't think so.
34 going away
So it's
for-
nice to have as a concept, nice to elaborate on it, nice to do research on it, but to use it at the moment where we are as a
I'm not
guiding
sure I
principle
trust
to
it.
where we should be, I don't think is particularly appropriate.
Andrew Bailey?
Well, that sort of continues what I was saying earlier. Again, I don't use it as a sort of a guide to where policy should be, but I think this whole concept of restrictiveness
At 100% on
is,
my-
of course, critical to our judgment, because
I
that's
don't
critical
even
to
get
the
that
transmission
call.
mechanism of policy, which we have to
Hey.
judge every time we meet. So
I'm
that's a
glad to hear
judgment
it.
that, in a sense, we renew every meeting we
Darren
have.
Walden.
I think
Gotta make back
a
those
lot of agree with what
losses.
Jay was just saying. I think, in our case, policy is restrictive at the moment. It's going to
Webull
become
is
less
going to enter Brazil's
restrictive based
crypto
on
market
on the
and
curve
some
that we've
other-
got in the market. That's what I would expect.
Oh, that's
We will judge
that's
it each
probably
time.
That's probably
Governor
some
Lee?
of what's going on.
Similar. Like,
I have nothing to add.
yeah, how would you see it, Governor Ueda?
Yes, so we also estimated something like the neutral rate a number of times. But the range of estimates is very wide. So, but at least we think we can say that the current rate is below neutral. But other than that, I would refer to what
All right, so
Jay said
seeing some selling
a year or
pressure.
two ago in the Jackson Hole
So
conference,
that may have been a
which
good
was
spot
like,
to get it short.
we are guided by our stuff,
I
but
wasn't
under
feeling
cloudy
that.
sky.
Even though I said I would get it, I'm like,
President Lagarde, can you talk to us
Still-
about
still
scenario
not quite
and why this
feeling
is, because of the shocks and actually the changes that are going very fast, why scenarios make more sense as a
hood
template of the
rocketing
economy?
towards 100.
Oh, okay. So this is a topic
I've been
that we
watching
have
it on the
largely
side.
debated as part
You
of the
can
strategy
swap out
assessment that
bull.
we conducted in the last year.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
I
above
think,
that resistance on the
in
day
fairness,
now too.
the baseline, which is the essential projection on which we work and we determine our monetary policy stance, holds and is decisive in our consideration. But at the same time, our staff has, I wouldn't say forever, but as long as I know myself,
it's gonna
has
get it at
always
some point.
conducted scenario analysis,
Probably
sensitivity analysis, in order to arrive at the most solid baseline. It is probably the case that we will do more of it, more systematically, that we might publish more often than we have. We have published, I think, in the last few years, in four circumstances we have published scenario analysis. The invasion of Ukraine was one, COVID was one, the oil crisis as well, and the tariff threats. So all those were exogenous factors that were sort of hitting our screens. I think we might do more scenario analysis that will be looking at the longer term trends that will affect our economy, and that will inform and strengthen our baseline, enhance it probably in its reliability. So that's what we are debating at the moment. How this is built, what assumptions we make, what choices are decided in terms of publishing will be determined by the Governing Council in good intelligence with our staff.
Yeah, and Jay Powell, on scenarios?
So for many years, we have used scenario analysis internally, and I personally find it very useful. I think many of my colleagues do too. You have just many different kinds of scenarios. We have 6 or 7 at every FOMC meeting. They're often the topic of discussion among governors and at the meeting. We have not taken the step of using them as a public communications device, and that's a big difference. So that's one of the things we're going to be talking about this fall. We will wrap up the first part of our framework review, which is the consensus statement, our monetary policy framework, we expect to by the end of the summer. And then we're going to use the fall meetings to look at communications ideas, and that's one of the ones we'll look at. I will say it has a lot of appeal and a lot of questions, and so my expectation is we if we're going to do something in that area, it's going to be putting a toe in the water and not just throwing ourselves in, over Niagara Falls on it. So I can imagine a situation where we would try that in a particular circumstance. But for us, we're just going to do the work and understand it as many other central banks are doing now.
In our case, we use the scenario analysis in our risk management section as a kind of representing the tail risk. But I have to read the ECB report. But if we have to move that section into the more forecasting section for public communication, I wonder whether it's going to be easy to get some consensus. Which scenario we have to do it among our probably members in the monetary policy meeting. So because that scenario and those underlying assumption may be much harder to communicate, to agree among the members.
So I grabbed 2 puts on UNH right here just because they're at this trend line.
Management section to the focusing.
And they're a little oversold. I want to see if we can get back to 312.
And it's very much in the same spirit.
I'd like to see if we can get back there today.
One, we introduced 2 scenarios in the May round and in the May report. For me, they were very useful. They were either on either side. They weren't symmetric, by the way. They were on either side. For me, they were very useful in terms of my decision making because they helped me to answer the question, given the uncertainty. If we're wrong, if I'm wrong in my judgment, how wrong am I going to be? Do I think I'm going to be? And what would be the consequences of that? And what would we then have to do to deal with them? I mean, is it manageable? And that was helpful. And then I think the question, coming back to what Jay was saying in terms of public communication, I mean, this is the big step, I think, and it is challenging. I'll tell you why, because I say this quite a lot. We make a lot of conditional statements. You may have detected this in all the many interviews you do. And I'm not making a personal comment now, Francine, but a lot of those conditional comments get immediately translated as unconditional comments. It's sort of
we do have other news.
We're quite careful, but
no, it's not personal. This is the general point. And so the reason I say this is that if we, and that's about the central case, by the way. So if we introduce scenarios, that's a message to us that you're going to have to do this very carefully in that world, because to get the point across about there is always uncertainty, there is always risk. How you calibrate those and how you, as Jay was saying, how you communicate those publicly is critical, but pretty challenging, frankly, in that environment.
Governor Ueda?
Yes, we
April,
also
good morning.
Carry out many
Brad guy, good morning.
simulation
I still need to share that UNH I got.
About scenarios, but we have not, as far as I know, published them. We do discuss in our quarterly reports qualitatively what risks we have in mind. Mm-hmm. On top of that, I would say, in a very rough way, we are carrying out something like a risk management approach to monetary policy making, which is probably a bit similar to what Christine was talking about yesterday. I can't come up with a good example, but risk scenarios, thinkings about tail risks, sometimes do affect our monetary policy making.
Can I ask you all about the dollar, everyone's favorite subject? So when you tune out noise, right, of the past few months, what has really changed about the dollar? Governor Rhee, are we really seeing some sort of paradigm shift in the status as a reserve currency that means historians will look back on 2025 as some sort of pivotal year?
I don't think so, especially in case of Korea. Our Korean won has appreciated significantly in the last 2 months, but I think it's mostly due to the very unique situation that we had. We had a very unexpected, unnecessary martial law declaration in last December, and after that, this political risk, together with the slowdown of our economy, really make Korean won depreciate much more than our fundamentals explain. So, in some sense, the appreciation that we have observed in the last 2 months, in some sense, normalization.
30 commercials.
Our
what is up?
And as for
that's kind of
wild.
wild.
Long-term shift of the dollar sentiment, we have.
Let me check my settings here.
Looks like people are talking about it.
Here, let me show you real quick.
They keep the dollar assets while they're increasing the hedge
monetization.
Ratios. So at this moment, I think the
it says it was on medium.
BIS report show this one.
Throw it on low.
mostly
That's kind of wild.
moving from the
You
unhedged
got
to the
30
hedged
commercials.
position. So we have to see what will happen in the future.
Yeah, Governor
Tyler,
Bailey?
good
Well,
morning.
I'd say two things. First of all, I think that it's important to bear in mind
Here,
what
I'm
the
gonna
definition of
like mute them. I'm not like low key. I'm not even paying attention anymore. It's just kind of noise now. If y'all were listening, let me know. We'll turn it back on. But I was just I don't know, it was just like extra noise in my ears. It's like I heard them say what what they were gonna say in the beginning, and then it's just extra noise. Let's see. I guess we already got that there. Oh, I'm glad you agree, cause yeah, I was like, it's like I took a couple notes for what he said. Honestly, he said the same stuff he's been saying, and then it's like, yeah, same old, same old. Oh, I still got it on here. Let me pull this off. We don't even. Oh, now they want to pull out calls on Palantir. Oh, it is approaching? No, but we already swept that. All right, so SPY pushing back up. Q's is having a hard time. Robinhood's trying to make a confirmation candle, but it's kind of right now. This candle on Robinhood is kind of indecisive. Apple's still pushing. Majada Gator. Hey, top of the morning. My throat feels a little tickly. Here. Let me swap this out. So what I just get, it was thinking about calls right now, the SPY, but it looks like it's about to hit resistance again. Let's see. Let's see how they react at resistance. Kind of like running on a day. You said, what's the feeling on UNH? Well, this is a 4-hour time frame, so gotta wait to see. It's like I might have got in early, but right now my feeling is I'm looking for a pullback. It's like the trend line is not perfect, but I think in this area could get some kind of pullback. Like even if it does end up kind of taking off here, I think it would need to kind of like cool off before it does so. You said the same. I'm thinking calls on the SPY right here. I'm still leaning towards puts on the SPY personally. I feel like they're trying to fake us out right now. But once again, we'll just have to see on the day. Lucky J, hey, what's up? Oh yeah, that reminds me, family. If you haven't already, be sure to smash the like button. So we got 98 people on. We got 52 likers. I know we don't have 98 people that came through and said what's up. So gotta make sure we're not sitting here in a group full of lurkers. We gotta come through and smash that like button. Okay. See the likes moving, see the likes jumping a little bit. Appreciate y'all. Push us up a little bit. All right, let's see. Made a few bucks in Apple, stopped out. I'm in hers, up. A buck, stop loss set. About to be driving. Keep me informed. Excuse typos in advance. Okay. Wait, which way are you playing? Which way are you playing, Hims? Let's see. So Hims is at a level of resistance. You say you were getting calls? Wait, where is? Yeah, you said you're in Hims, but you didn't say which way. Oh, you said calls. Okay. Let's see. Question. I have $10 on a call on SoFi. Is it a good idea to take profit, or should I exercise the call? Oh, you have a $10 call. Here, let's think about this. Here, let me look at SoFi real quick. Okay, so $10 call on SoFi, is a good idea to take profit, or should I exercise a call? I would make more selling the shares. Would I make more? So me personally, I would probably, like, once again, if you're on a margin account, I would consider, like, if you want to take profit. Here, let me think about how I would do it. So bought in at $10. So yeah, it's like one thing you could do. Yeah, you could exercise, and actually, what's going to be better than exercising? Usually, since I'm pretty sure you have a leap. Since you still have that value of time, even if you were going to exercise, it's usually better to sell the contract and then buy the shares. Wait, actually, yeah, sell the contract and buy the shares. And, like, here, let's go look at the contract. Let's pretend you got one that's expires. Here, let's look real quick. Let's run the numbers. All right. So let's say you got a SoFi January 2026 or whatever, and it was a $10 strike. So right here, if we look at the break even, is going for $8.95, and the cost is 10. So right now, if you sold out of even if you sell the contract, it's still going to be the same value, but you're going to actually have the shares. But since you bought the contract for a lot less, you're going to be in a better position selling the contract and doing this, because it still has that value of time. So selling selling the contract and taking profits, and then actually buying the amount of shares that you were going to buy as well. In my opinion, that is the best move. That's what I would do personally. Like, not financial advice, but that's personally what I would look to do, just because that way you can still profit from all the data and stuff too, and that the value of that doesn't get lost because you exercise it. You get to take some of that out if you sell it. Apple carrying us, but very, very much so. Very much so. Apple is kind of making me a little sad. I was hoping for like a little pullback at open. I guess it kind of gave a little pullback at open, but I was hoping for a larger little pullback. %, take profits and never allow it to expire. But wait, oh. Alright, well, there you go. There you go, M-Sense. I didn't even realize M-Sense already answered the question. Calls, okay. Going to try to muster up the courage to hold IWM until 215.75 as a matter. Here, here go these landscapers. Let's take a look at IWM. Alright, so we got the SPY pushing resistance right now. Let's see if we can confirm up here. So IWM, it looks like it's already hit that kind of range. As a matter of principle, at this point, there's a ton of resistance up here, but gotta build up the nerves. Weeble says IWM could hit. Let's see what really happens. Hey, we'll see. I mean, it's at resistance now. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of liquidity past it too. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Hey, looks like you got it, Darren. All right, so we are pushing. Bro, these landscapers. So loud. Triple confirmation on IWM. Got in a 618 strike on SPY from 617 in the money, hoping it's not a fake out, up 30%. Hey, I would consider a stop, but it could very well keep running. We'll see. We haven't got confirmation yet, but say we confirm. That'll end up looking nice. Out of IWM, watch the rest from the sidelines. You say EMA cross on the 15. Let's check the volume. Looks like the volume's kind of low today, from what I can see. Here, let's go to like a 30. Yeah, volume's kind of low today. I guess that's just showing like, hey, yo, people are going on vacation since we got 4th of July. That's something I forgot to consider. Like we get this lower volume coming in, so as the week goes on, it's not going to be as nice for trading. Won't get as much movement. Today might be kind of the last day of solid movement on the cool. PayPal decent move this morning. Let's see. Dang, circle's back in the red. It was or green. It was looking good this morning. Where is PayPal? Oh, there it is. PayPal looks like, or at least kind of going off open. So SPY looks like it's sweeping liquidity potentially. We'll see. We still got 9 minutes on this candle, but right now, this is showing there are sellers up here. So we will kind of have to see about that. Volume is my arch nemesis. Dang. Is everything on the screen? No. Everything on the screen is like stuff I'm watching, but I'm not in all this stuff right now. I'm in UNH. I'll say I'm not loving the... Here, let me check the volume on this real quick. Check news. Class action. Filed for stockholders from... Okay. Alright, WM just hits 215.95. Weeble was correct. All right, so we're getting a pullback on the Qs, kind of a little bit pullback on the SPY. We'll have to see how the SPY does at this EMA. Zoom back in on Apple a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to close my blinds or my curtains, see if it's a little bit better when it comes to sound, because I'm having a hard time with all these leaf blowers. I don't think it helps. Still like extra loud. Have a hard time hearing myself drink or think, yeah. Yeah, UNH is doing all right for now. Unfortunately, I'm playing it the opposite way, so we'll see. I think Hims is going to do the thing today. Since you're going to confuse me with the hers thing, because it's like there's actually another stock with the ticker symbol hers. And it's like completely different. Oh well, it's not. It's not. Hold up. Yeah, it's like yeah, it might not show up on Webull, but it's like every time it kind of throws me off. But we'll see. So yeah, we're kind of chopping around a little bit. Hims looks like it is currently seeing some resistance right here. IW, oh, okay. Uh-oh, I hope not, because been typing hers lately and getting Hims. I don't know. It's like, I know what you said yesterday about like, so the reason that you get Hims from hers is because the company is called Hims and Hers Health, but the ticker symbol is actually Hims. But it's the only it's the only U.S. based company that has hers, hers in the name. But since I'm on TradingView, all the tickers, it'll give me ticker symbols from like all the markets, and it looks like maybe a Vietnamese market or something. There's a stock or an asset for hers. So that's why it's throwing me off a little bit. All right, so SPY rejected its first attempt at that resistance level, but it's pulling back to the support of the EMAs. The EMAs like look like they just freshly crossed over to the upside. Let's see. Yeah, they just barely crossed to the upside. One more time. Let's get a volume check. Okay. And we got a little pulling back going on. All right, I feel a lot better about getting out of the Palantir though. Now that I see it around like 130, I might actually want to take another look at Palantir just because it's pulling back. I want to see what the next Actually, this is no, we already swept that. All right, so the Qs are pulling back, or actually might be sweeping liquidity. We'll see, but the Qs is at the low for the day. So we're currently selling off. Something else I'm noticing right now, the PCE it's kind of low. It's at 0.53, so there aren't that many puts in the market compared to calls. So right now, if they wanted to just pull the rug, they could do that. There is room for that. Just wanted to point that out. Kareem, good morning. Are you in any swing trades today? I grabbed a short on UNH. And I'm also still in the SoFi short from yesterday. Wait, let's see. This isn't Ninja Trader. This is TradingView. I have never in my life used Ninja Trader. Oh yeah, this is a platform called TradingView. Oh, so they finally moved away with these leaf blowers. They were going crazy with those. It was a little bit too much for me, but like it was overstimulating for me. Apple gave hers, took it away, just like Nevermind. Here, let me do some searching. All right, let's see. Oh, UNH going crazy. Let me check the word on. Let me check the word and catalyst on UNH because this thing's still moving. Yeah, UNA can actually go like a couple more dollars. Here, let's see. I feel like Tesla will probably get bought up in the short term. Contract disputes. If IWM is heading back down to hit yesterday's 213, that would be super duper crazy, but a worthwhile lesson. All right, so we got the Qs pushing down. We got SPY pushing down. Apple's still doing this thing, kind of. I'm about to have to check some unusual activity. Yeah, we got some stuff dropping like a rock now. Now I'm seeing some other charts. Here, where's my mouse? So far, like, straight chilling. Yeah, I still think UNH will come back down. Let's see. Yeah. Let me check unusual activity. Where is that? It's nothing today. Okay. Well, we're like an hour in right now. All right, let's look at some stuff. So SoFi is at 805. Let's look at the trend on the day. Trending down, but on the day, not too much really going on. Here, let's see. Qs is in the red. IWM's in the red. Let's see. Google. Google looks like it's breaking our watch Google for a potential break in trend. Yeah, if Google breaks, first level to watch out for will be like 170, like just below 172. Then down to like 167, but ultimately could end up back in this like 164 to 162 area. All right, Qs is selling off more. Qs is like a good amount below its pre-market high. SPY is below the EMAs on the 15. Yeah, we're doing a little selling off. Apple's pulling back. Palantir down another almost 5% today. Robinhood is pulling back too. Here, let's see. SoFi down to $18. AMD. AMD is approaching like a area of support around like 133 or so. That's a support area on AMD. Yeah, so for some of these movers, we're approaching some levels. Got a solid pullback on Meta. Microsoft is kind of chilling relatively. Nvidia pulling back pretty nice. Pretty nice on Nvidia's pullback. Let's go back to a 15. Yeah, we're selling off. It looks like we might be here. Robinhood's almost back to support for the day. UNH is popping off. Let's take a look at the vote. All right, dang, we're like kind of almost 50-50, even though it's like 44, 45, and then there's like that 11% in the middle. So like just barely the chat voted green. But yeah, we're very much crossing into red territory now. All right, so SPY's back at the trend line that it broke to kind of like run up. We'll see what it does here. Apple's selling off kind of hard right now. Here, let's see what else we got here. Hey, Nike's having a good day though. I completely missed out on that one. What's this? This is a 15. Dang. Yeah, Nike took off. In like no time. Yeah, Nike opened up at just about $72 and ooh. So yeah, Nike's having a good day. KULR. Dang, Uber and Tesla down. So we got Uber around down almost 2%. Like almost 1.8%. All right, SPY starting to try to cut through that trend line. This market is such a mixed bag right now. All right, so as of right now, SPY holding up at that trend line for now. Looks like it's going to, at least for this candle. All right, Robinhood at support. We'll see if it can hold it up. Oh, back to what I was doing. Let's see. Over here. Nike. Oh yeah, him's rejected like right there at that level. Bro, I remember when everyone was talking about Lunar. Let's see how they've been doing lately. Oh yeah, they pulled it back a good amount. All right, so SPY still holding above that trend line, but looks like they're starting off another black candle. Bro, I just opened Moomoo and I got an ad. I had like a 3-second ad I couldn't skip. Dang, crypto kind of dipping too. All right, so we got SoFi above $18 or below $18. See if we can make any like real progress on that. All right, Robinhood below support, SPY below support like of the trend line. See if we can get any confirmation on any of these. All right, so I see we've got more votes on the poll since I've said something, but the percentages are still yeah, they're selling off a little bit more there. All right, so we got the PCE starting to move up a little bit. Just a little bit, nothing too crazy yet. VIX, let's look at the VIX. Nothing too crazy on the day. Still small potatoes. Think I'm back in the green on those old Pfizer leaps I got. All right, and should be approaching like kind of that line in the sand on the UNH in a couple dollars. Just happened. Yo, something just happened to my something just flashed. All right, so looking a little bit like we're trying to find some support. All right, so I see the numbers changed a little bit. We are now, never mind. They changed right back to the same numbers. All right, so hey, looking like we're trying to hold up at these levels. Let's check the VIX. I'm gonna open my windows or my blinds back up. Apple's still selling off. Oh no, looking like we're still trying to sell. Try to flash us with a little hope, but then they said nope. Ooh, let me take a look at Honest real quick. Might be able to sell some calls. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Yeah, let's take a look at Honest. Let me take a look at when their earnings is first. So Honest. They got earnings August 7th. Nah, I'm not like lowering the price of their options yet. Tom, what's good? I would say hey, volatility is looking like it's getting a little better on the day. Looking good to me here. Got a good little pullback, some good movement today. First day of the month. What's good with you, Tom? Yeah, I'm gonna need to stand up. Apple's still respecting trend. Q's is oversold on the 15, but 15 doesn't mean as much. Robinhood, they're still chilling below support. Wouldn't be mad if Nike ran up to $80 soon. I would feel two ways about that. It's like I got some shares, but I let go of those options. So yeah, let me check in on that Nike option though. Let's see, where's it at? Oh, is it not on here? Here, let's. This is like the 18th. It was like $80. Okay, it's still not too bad. It's like opportunity still there. Should I really wanted it? Not much. Looking at this market, was working on my clothing brand, but potentially decided check out what plays potentially popping up. What kind of clothes you got, or what kind of clothes are you working on, Tom? All right, SoFi selling a little bit more. Here, let's see. Let's pull that SoFi back up. Where we at? SoFi. Oh, there we go. I'm in the green on the Nike options. Hey, that's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear, Big Reg. All right, still trying to find SPY, still trying to hold up at this level. All right, so looking like we may have found some liquidity right there. We'll see. Oh, Constellation has earnings today. 31 lurkers, hit that like button. Yes. At least 20 of you. At the least. Hey, smash the like button. Let us do things. Get somewhere. So yeah, Constellation Brands has earnings today to anybody that's interested. This is one that Berkshire Hathaway has bought into over the past few months, so be aware of that. Who knows what their earnings could look like. Just wanted to let y'all know. Okay, let me see if we got an earnings chart for the month of July yet. Nope, not yet. Okay. Just got here, chill on the lurker accusations. Hey, Tanisha, hey, no worries. Hey, just you're here, typing in the chat. Hey, we know you're not a lurker. Appreciate you. Good morning. D-Scurv hood touched 99, then plummeted to 93. Here, let's see. Yeah, that is exactly what happened. And let me add like a little EMA alert on the. No, not 200. Do I have it on a 14? Hold up, is that set on 14? You know, we'll leave it on 14. So we'll use, there we go. All right, so the Q's still selling off. It's over here in oversold territory now, but it's still selling off. Looking at here, let's go back up. Let's look at PCE moving up a little bit. VIX still kind of chilling. Let's check for some headlines. All right. Okay, so let's. Okay, so UNH pulling back a little bit now. Stopped around. Well, I initially thought it would stop around where I was getting in, but like after I like re-looked at it, stopped around where I thought it would stop. All right, so continuing to further pull back on the SPY, continuing to pull back on the Qs. Apple still doing pretty solid. Constellations pushing up. Mahishu, good morning. Is APLD stock a good long term? That's the consensus on it. Yeah, it's looking like it is. So it's like this seemed like a good area to pick it up long term. What was my UNH? Yo, I'm being reckless. It's this week. So yeah, I'm being very, very, very reckless with the UNH. And you know, this week's a short week, so you got today, tomorrow, and then Thursday, and that's it. Oh, SPY trying to find a little bit of life. SoFi, if dips would support. There are a lot of supports for SoFi. So there's some at like 773. There is some at 1750, 1720. So I would focus on those for now, but as of right now, the pre-market support is still 1783. So it still hasn't gone below that. So until it does, I'd be looking at that. All right, SPY trying to push back up. Looks like it's still upholding the trend line. As of right now, kind of breaking retests. EMAs are kind of like, I don't know what they're doing, honestly. All right, so we got Apple back at the highs. Yeah, Apple is very much leading the SPY. Let's see how everything else is looking. So Robinhood. Yeah, they still got this gap down to like 83. Still like a little below support Robinhood. All right, SPY pushing up at 617. All right, yeah, SPY pushing up. Apple is running and going for it too. Honestly, Apple might try to go for that level today. How's Palantir doing? SoFi back at 17.99. Let's see. Palantir showing a range from May 6th to now on the 4-hour clear trend. Lines on top to bottom. Let's see. Wait, what was just up here? Let's see. Oh dang, we're pulling on back again. Apple's still going up, but the SPY is trying to come down. It's Robinhood is now it's starting to look like, oh, I could have held those hood puts I was in. But we'll see. Yeah, puts are kinda they're doing their thing right now. All right, Palantir showing a range from May 6th to now on the 4-hour. Let's see. Where is... That's June. On the 4-hour, clear trend lines on the top and bottom. Oh, okay, let's see. Yeah, I might be able to reevaluate how I drew this last one. Let's see. Here, let's try to slide this a little more. Yeah, we can see how that goes. Could be on its own. And then here, let's see. Yeah, it's kind of like the old one. Yeah, could be onto something. Dang, Robinhood settling down. All right, the Q's down to 545. Yeah. Yeah, I see it, D-Scurv. Okay. Have a $12 call on APLD for August 1st. If I buy another one, will it bring... So it will bring your average down. Yeah. My apologies if I asked this before. Why do people trade? SPX, I can't give like a clear, hard reason why people trade SPX to it. I know it moves a lot different, but just because I don't trade it like that. I can't really say why people do it, trade one thing as opposed to the other. But maybe somebody in the chat could be of more help. All right. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me. All right. So we got hood selling off. Yeah, it would have been good for me to swing that put, but that wasn't the case. All right. So here, let's. Yeah, Palantir is approaching that newly formed trend line. Nvidia's dropping a ton. Let's see. Yeah, we're selling off. The Qs is really selling off. Yeah, I would say first place to watch for Nvidia would be like about 150 or so. Yeah, they're really trying to rip from us right now though. Yeah, so we got Nvidia dropping a ton. Here, let's see what else we got here. All right, let's see. The shakeout before the breakout. Shake and bake. A little shake and bake action. Okay. Ricky Bobby in the mix. All right, so SPY is about back to the support for the day. So, dang. They really kind of ran with it. Sometimes it doesn't seem like stuff's going to happen, but it ends up playing out. Let me check in on SoFi real quick. Let's see. All right, so SoFi is below support. I'm really here. Let me go to like the 4 hour or something. All right, let's look. Let's see how far SoFi is from this trend line. Might be where I try to like cut out. So if SoFi were to come to like 17, like 50 or so. Kilo Hotel, what's up? Bro, UNH is, hey, it's trying to hold up. Alright, I noticed Apple, it did pop up, but it's like pulling back again. another check-in on Constellation. Let's see. Yeah, still running. UNA still trying to push too. All right, PC pushing up a little bit. There go UNH again. I'm gonna need them to bring it back in. I'm gonna need Apple to bring it back in too. All right, Robinhood still selling off a little bit. IWM second off. Oh yeah, they're at 216.56. Why are they taking off? Yeah, my computer feels like it's working really, really hard. Did not have the courage to hold IWM for this long. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's like you see everything. Do we have like, oh hell on, let me actually look at the chart real quick. Are we rotating? Like, so this is the Qs. Yeah, are we rotating? What's driving the IWM? I need to. What's going on with Meta? It's not just a Meta thing. The tech stocks are pulling back. Here, let's see. Like, I can look and see if I see anything specific from Meta, but to my knowledge, there's like nothing specific going on with Meta. Let's see. I don't see anything specific meta wise. It just looks like it's pulling back. And we got a lot. Oh, IWM even. Yeah, they are ripping. IWM is taking off. Has to be a financial stock driving IWM. Yeah, I need to, I'm pretty sure there's a way to like look at the indexes and see what's driving it on Moomoo. I need to figure out how to do it. Let me play around in the markets tab. All right. Dow Jones, NASDAQ, S&P 500. Let's see. NASDAQ, S&P, VIX. Where's IWM? I don't even think here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I don't even know. Let's see. Heat map, equity, bond, commodities. Let's see. Nail MSTZ. Ions. Oh, I'm just looking at ETS right now. I'm like, why? 550 had you held. That's kind of wild. Can we look at resistance for IWM? It's at resistance. So, like, if it comes above 214.40, that could be it sweeping liquidity. If it blasts through that, then it's just blasting off. I'm trying to see what's causing this move. So I can see the Dow Jones. Okay, Broadcom. Snapchat's up 8. All right, so drug manufacturers are having a really good day. Consumer electronics having a good day too. Apple's one of them. Whatever Zepp Health is, doing well. Yeah, I don't know. If you go back a few seconds, it'll let you know. It's at resistance right now. So there's liquidity here. So where IWM is, it's at resistance. And then the next resistance isn't to like 220. I'm in front on computer. HIMS is down under 48 on the 4 hour. How low might it go? I don't know, there's some support at like 46. Very welcome. Here, let's see. I feel like Tesla has based out for the day. Nothing logical about this rise to no extent could justify having held it this long. Could I justify having held it this long? I would have been gambling. I'm not disappointed in my outcome. This is just a myth. Where'd it go? Oh, I had it. I guess I looked at something else. Yeah, I'm kind of getting worked right now. $1,025%. That would be nice. Oh, hold up. That was an accident. Meant to post that somewhere else. Yo, it's kind of hot in this room. Hold up. That's kind of my last line right here. Seeing kind of how UNH responds on the 4 hour here. IWM may be up because of expected cuts. That's one thing. I'm just trying to see like what the leading stock is. Like what stock is leading IWM is what I'm trying to see. I don't think cuts are expected. Here, we can check real quick. So, okay. Right now, wait, what? This is for July. So, probabilities are no rate cut. But I think I want to say it's higher than they were because it's at 21%. See if we go out to September. September, it looks like we're pricing in on rate cuts. Let's see, October, we're pricing in having had 2 by then. December, this was 2. It looks like we're closest to having, looks like potentially 3 by December. And then some are even lower, so 3 rate cuts by December, maybe. What is the strike for UNH? I got like a 310. But my contract is like super cheap now. And that expires this week, so. Oh. What was I gonna say? Yo, if anybody, hey, I'm just throwing this out there. If anybody in Dallas knows how I can get on like a boat or something for the 4th of July, yo, let me know. I was like, it's been a few years since I've been on a boat for the 4th of July. Hey, just wanna throw that out there. Would like to be on a boat this year, watching fireworks. Here, let's see. 18% chance for July cuts. So they're like constantly changing. So it looks like it's been bumped up to like 21% now. Yesterday, or like it looks like June 27th, the chance was 18. And then a week ago was 18. A month ago was like 24. Or maybe, wait, yeah. So. You say, what's the link you buy those eyeglasses? Like, are you talking about my, wait, hold on. Meta AI said IonQ has moved the most in, okay. Okay. I don't use the AI feature enough on those. But you said, here, what's the link you buy those eyeglasses? Which glasses are you talking about? Are you talking about like the Zenny, like just the regular ones? Or are you talking about like the meta shades? Make rich friends, go to wine bars. Oh no, I have plenty of friends with like money. Like I know, like, I don't know where I go to run club. I know people who legit like broker yachts and stuff. But it's just like also I have like a lot of friends from high school too, but it's just like I don't know who to ask specifically. So I was just like, yo, if anyone's doing it, hey, let me know, or if anyone knows where. Cause it's like I could rent a boat. I just don't have I don't have my boating license. Probably need to look into doing that at some point. But no, I don't have a boating license. I can like drive the boat and whatnot. But like whenever it comes to like anchoring and docking it and all that, I don't know how to do all that. On a boat, song playing in my head. That's wild. That was a classic right there. Yeah, my cousin lives in DeSoto. I'm gonna see if he knows something. Love these glasses, not high poverty. These glasses. Oh, okay, I got you. I was like, yeah, some things I'm like, yeah, what's going on? But you said go on their boat. It's like I would have to ask. You don't just want to like invite yourself on someone's boat. It's like, hey, what you doing on the 4th of July? Yo, oh yeah, just taking the boat out. I was like, oh, yo, can I join? Honestly, I probably have some friends that would do that, would say yes. But you said if they are your friends, do it. Yeah, they're like friends from, I don't know. It's like different because I'm like married now. It's a little different because it wouldn't just be me. But I know I have friends that's like, yo, I'd be on like that. And then if we went out to like Houston, like on Lake Conroe, no, we could get out there like that too. Here, let's see. Market is down, but PayPal calls are paying 35%. Hey, that's what's up. Gotta go. Hey, get it in, Josh. All my friends, we just bring food and pitch in on gas. Are you talking about on the boat? On my thing, oh, it's like I always I like when I'm just invited. I'm just like along for the ride. It's like, hey, we're going out. It's like, oh yeah. It's like I like when people already have a group and they're like, oh yeah, come join. That's why I like if I ask somebody, it's like I'm gonna be the focal point. It's gonna be like one-on-one. It's like I like to sit and like kind of just observe everything and appreciate everything. I don't know. Trump speaking. Let's see. What's he speaking on? What's the topic of his speaking? Because a lot of his speaking is nothing. Hold on. Be right back. Oh, good. Okay, what do you think? Wait, okay. What do you think if you're scared of water or can't swim? Oh, no. It's like I have friends that are, it's just like I haven't talked to them in a while. That's it. No, it's like I have friends who I've been out with. And it's like some of them, it's like when you get married, it's like things change. It's like, oh, now you got to check in with your wife. They got to check in with their wives. Or some of the old friends are girls, and it's like, Oh, they gotta check in with their husbands, or oh, that's just awkward. So it's like a lot of kind of stuff like that. You said he an alligator Alcatraz. Here, let's see. Okay. Oh no, I'm pretty sure you said something. Something. You said something else, but it said something. It came out wrong. Kendra, good morning. The Qs, they are currently selling off. It's currently oversold on the 15, but on the day or on the 4 hour, let's see. This actually could be like a little sweep of liquidity, or this could continue on. Honestly, looking at it on the 4 hour, I would want to see how this 16-minute candle closes. And then, see how this 4 hour candle closes in the next 16 minutes. And, like, if it were to close, like, right here or anything, like 546 or below, I would think it could pull up a little bit more, but I would think it's going to come down and, like, sell off some more over the next day or two. Like, I could see it coming back to this 536 area. We'll kind of have to see. 6 to go to escape. Oh yeah, hey family. Yo, if you can hear my voice and you haven't already, hey, be sure to smash the like button, because there may be dire consequences if we don't get 6 more likes. You said you think there's a chance it'll be bullish. I wouldn't say bullish. I would say there is a chance it could pull up to the upside a little bit, but nothing about this says bullish to me. All right, SoFi pulling back a little bit more. Man, I wish I had grabbed a little closer to the money. Might have to throw a stop loss on there now. Randy, good morning. So we got some stuff selling off. Looks like, I would say it looks like we have a rotation. So it looks like we're rotating into small caps. So like it looks like people are kind of front running the thought that interest rates may be getting cut here pretty soon. So people are looking at some calls, or looking at buying the IWM, buying the Russell 2000. Here, let's see. Yo. All right. Wow, the divergence between IWM. Yeah. But on the cool, when it comes to the IWM and the SPY, like if you look over them over the past, like if we look at them on the monthly chart, so we got the Qs on the monthly chart here. Let's start at the same point. So the Qs has been running since December of 2022. Oh wait, monthly. If we look at IWM since the December of 20, wait, what is this? So yeah, I guess October of 2022. If we look at kind of just what they've returned, October of, what is it? Yeah, October 2022, if we go from the bottom to where we are currently, the IWM is up 38% over a couple years, whereas the bottom, October to where we are currently, the Qs is up 122%. And if we do the same for the SPY, where is it? October of 2022. SPY's up like 85%. I would say the IWM has some catching up to do. So that's a $285 move on the SPY, just under $300 on the Qs, and $60 on the IWM. So IWM, they're probably gonna do a little going crazy here pretty in the coming months. Yeah, IWM going crazy. Apple plummeted. Yeah, Apple's at 207. That might be opportunity. Might be opportunity right there. All right. Oh, shoot, we hit the likes. Let's go. Hey, we did it. Yo, that's what's up. That is what's up. Got a little distracted. I got some stuff I'm trying to sell on Facebook Marketplace. It's like I just let stuff pile up and then end up having to do it all at once. All right, SoFi is approaching this level. Let me get my stop loss ready. Here, let's see. Right here, where's... So that SoFi is up like 60%. Yeah, it would have been nice if I just kind of, what is it? Did I put my order in? Yeah, I think I did. Would have been nice if I just got some with less time. Are there any plays I'm excited about for months out? It's like I like the idea of like leaps on IWM. I like I still like those Weeble leaps I have, those Pfizer leaps I have. Oh, those Pfizer leaps are moving today actually. Here, let me see that real quick. Oh, they pulled back a little. Wait. I guess they kind of pulled back, but yeah, they started the day at 53. And now they're at like 69. That's a good little day for them. This chart is not updated. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so these are having a good little day. These Pfizer calls. I think I originally added them to my portfolio at like might have been 60 or 55, something like that. But got so much time, and it's like I can see that move happening. What's in the news for the honestly, nothing that I know. It's like things were overbought and could use a pullback, but I don't, nothing that I've seen. It's like, honestly, I feel like lately things have, you'll kind of see the movement and then you'll figure out why it happened later. It's like you'll get news on it later. So it's like you see the institutions move and then you get the news. So I don't know. Can you help with Palantir? How would I help with Palantir? Jerome Powell, Jerome Powell's not saying anything new. Everything is still kind of the same. So I don't see how him talking just now would change anything. But yeah, how would I help with Palantir? I was like, if you can tell me how I could help, I might be able to help. I don't know though. I am in a deficit on my contract. So I was in a deficit on my contract. Like I was in the red, losing. Palantir fell pretty bad today. So what I ended up doing was I sold for a loss. I don't know how much time you have on your contracts or anything, but taking losses is a part of trading. Like ultimately what you should do, that comes down to your decision making. But it's like ideally when you enter a trade, you also want to know where to cut out if things are going bad, and then also like where you would ideally take profit. Bought 2 contracts that don't expire till July 3rd. That's very soon. So I would say like if you have calls, that's a gamble, and there is a good chance those expire worthless depending on what strike you got. But I'm just going to tell you kind of like historical facts. Typically, historically, coming into the 4th of July weekend, like starting tomorrow, you will see the volume of trading drops, meaning that you don't typically see that much movement in stock price, and it might kind of trade sideways. If you want guaranteed, like if you want the money back that it is worth guaranteed right now, yeah, that's what you would do. You would sell it to close it. But yeah, otherwise otherwise it'll just expire worthless. But yeah, it was very hard for me too, cause this whole move down on Palantir over this time span, this is kind of crazy to me. Yeah, this whole move, it's like I got in at like 146, down at 129 now. Or I got in at like 139. But yeah, I still wrote it down like $10, so definitely hurt me. You see any pullback on SPX? I know SPX is going to look the same as the SPY, so right now I would just expect it to be like, I would really expect this. Hold on, yeah, it's like the exact same as the SPY, so not really. It looks like it's just consolidating like the SPY. what kind of stop loss you put on your SoFi put? So I didn't do a stop loss. I put in an order. I didn't get filled yet though. So I'm waiting for it to get filled. I just put a limit order in. Can I wait till the end of the day, or is that not good? I would highly recommend watching the playlist of videos I have in the pinned in the comments. Otherwise, I think trading options will be a lot of pain for you in the future. But to put it shortly, the more in the last week of if option contracts expire same week, the start of one day to the end of the same day, it's going to lose a lot of value to time. So it's like I would just take that information and do whatever you think is the wisest with it. But yeah, it'll lose a lot of value to time. Let's see. Keep in mind, Palantir would have to increase at least 10 for the cost to, yeah, at least. Yeah, that messes, yeah, that's why I was like, oh. It's like I had an extra week on my Palantirs too, but I was like, I think I sold out around it was like 134. I'm kind of glad I did, but yeah, that mess was painful. Something strange happened to me today. I had a TSLL put. I was down 10 as soon as I placed the trade. I should have made profit, but so what happened there? We had discussed this yesterday, and this something that happens. So if we look at TSLL, for instance, and we look at the options, one thing you will notice here, it's not that bad right here. It's not normally this close. Here, let's look at, here, let's get like a week on it. All right, so if we look at it's normally a lot worse than this. But anyways, here, we're looking at TSL and we are considering buying. All right, so we can see the bid price is 67 and the ask price is 69. A lot of times what I see with TSLL, the bid price will usually be like 60. The ask will be like 70. So there will usually be like a spread of 10 on them. So if the bid price is 60 and the ask price is 70, if you put in a market order, it's usually going to put it in closer to the ask price. And if you put in a market order to sell a contract, it's usually going to be like closer to the bid price. So if you immediately get in a contract and then decide, oh, that was a bad idea, like right now in this instance, if you bought in at market order, you buy in at 67, and then if you're like, oh, this is a bad trade, let me get out, you would immediately lose $3. This right here, this is the closest I've ever seen this on TSL. Well, this is the closest it can get, bid and ask being like right there, being 1 cent apart. But usually this is around like 10 cents apart with TSLL. So that's not uncommon what you experience. That's why whenever I do trade TSLL, it has to be like, I have to see like a large movement. IWM going crazy. I just missed it. It might not be done, but Tesla and DJT are in a war of words. Ended up with the loss. I know how you feel. It's like, I think I took like a similar trade. Was it earlier this week or maybe it was last week on TSLL? It was very annoying. But with that being said, family, we're going to close it out here. So I'm going to let y'all know what I'm thinking for UNH. Hey, I'm gonna take a chance. We'll see what happens. I said if it closed below this line, I was going to like wait. So I'm probably going to swing this. I'm going to take a chance on UNH. It's like I was ideally it comes back to 312, but if not, then I'm taking a fat L on that. So we'll see what happens with UNH. But yeah, that's gonna. You said, do you think UNH will come by? I don't know. Like, I'm gonna let you know. I don't know. That's why what I mean by I'm taking a chance. Like, the money in UNH may completely go bye. So yeah, this is taking a chance. This isn't a stock I normally trade. This is not like an Apple, it's not an AMD, it's not a SPY, it's UNH. So I'm not as familiar with it. I'm taking a chance. So yeah, with that being said, that's going to do it for the day, family. I hope each and every one of y'all's trades goes y'all's way. Shoot, I hope this trade goes my way. And with that being said, Matthew Manuel signing off, and I want to change your life. All right, let's see. Peace out, Joey V. Peace out. What's it? Shanta. Peace out, Jay Fortune. Peace out, Joey. Oh, wait. Peace out, Henry. Peace out, E.D. Silver. Peace out, James. Peace out, M-Sense. Peace out, Anil. Peace out, D. Skurd. Peace out, Natasha. Peace out, Mahishu. Peace out, Yoko. Peace out, Kilo Hotel. Peace out, Elegant Boom. Peace out, Lucky J. Yeah, y'all stay blessed. And, we'll see what the market gives us today. Peace out, Dwight. Peace out, Darren. But yeah, y'all, hope y'all have the best days. Matthew Manuel signing off, and I want to change your life. Peace out, FL Mono. Peace out. Dang, 50% red. All right, catch y'all. Bye.